Hello. Jackie, say hi. Say hi, Ruby. It's been a long time since I've done like a video entry about my life, and my phone is on 3%, so I was like, let me just do it on here. Which is so weird because I can really see myself, and it's just been so long since I've done a video entry. Like, honestly, it's been a few months, and I really should go back and watch that because a lot of shit has happened in the last few months. A lot of life has been lived in great ways and hard ways. Um, I took a trip today, a mushroom trip, and everything was, first of all, I prayed that I would experience my presence, that I would be able to look at myself, see myself, understand myself, and um, most of all, just be present in my creativity, in my truth, and all of those things happen. Is a blessing to experience everything I experienced through that trip, high and low. Because I was on a it was crazy. Like, I was dancing, I was having realizations, like, I was having so much fun, and then I'm playing songs that are like playing in my head, and then, I see this through my old searches. Um, I'm playing music through my old searches, and one of them was a sad song. And I was, before I went to click on it, I'm like, no, but then I did because I'm like, okay, like, I know I'm meant to hear this, and I was meant to hear it. It pushed me it pushed me further deeper into my emotions and exposed what's really been on my heart. And I've talked about this a lot, like, especially through my journaling, of just how deep in sadness and pain I've been in for ever since I've gotten back from Trinidad. And I think today, through my trip, I just realized the newness of all that is my life right now. And, I came back home, I guess, subconsciously assuming that life would be the same and that I would try to pick back up the pieces from where I left, that people would be the same, that I knew that things would be different, but I didn't really take into account how different things could be, even though I had gone through a whole plethora of awakenings during my time away. Still, then I didn't really consider coming back being so. I don't. I'm still unraveling. I don't fully know what this is that I'm experiencing, other than an awakening of some sort. But I knew that I would come back. I knew that I would go through some sort of depression or sadness, or I knew that even before I left. And so I always had that on my mind, that, like, I knew I would be going through something. But I guess I never really assumed that it would go the way that it did. And I think, or the way that it is going, still here, I'm still going through it. But I've lost a lot of people coming back home. And maybe they're not lost forever, but they're lost for right now. And right now, like, coming back home, I didn't expect to be so alone. That I did not expect. I think that has been the hardest thing for me, because a lot of people rooted for me going there. A lot of people were excited for me to return, and yet the energy was so off. It was like a lot of people were saying things that did not match their actions. The energy was not doing what it was really supposed to, as people telling me that they're supporting me and that they're here for me. And maybe this is a collective awakening. I think we're all going through some sort of awakening that's splitting up a lot of relationships and activating a lot of truths within a lot of people that may disrupt relationships that were formed in places and spaces where maybe we weren't as conscious as we thought. Like, I have been doing a lot of grieving of the people that I've had to leave behind in some sense, but I also feel that I don't regret letting go energetically of any of the people I've had to let go of in the 4 months that I've been back. I have no regrets at all. I know that where I'm going is not where I've been before. And so that requires a new version of me. When a new version of me is, it requires time and it requires space. It requires thought and journeying as deep into my soul as I've ever journeyed before. And I've been on this journey for years. I would say that I started this journey for real, in 2020. It's 5 years later now, So I've been on what you would call this healing journey for 5 years, and this is the deepest I've been in my soul yet, And it's like I always think I'm so deep, but like when you really get deep, you really get raw and you really get truthful with yourself and vulnerable with yourself. You start living from a place of true authenticity. You realize you've never even known yourself until for real right now. So with all that being said, having to confront myself in this way, unlike I've never had before, has made me realize the false spaces I've chosen, people and interests and just life. The false places I've chosen things for myself out of insecurity or fear or you know the thought that this is all that there is for me. And I think that's why I hold no regret towards letting any place go, because it's like, yeah, we had really good times, and you know what? At the beginning of 2024, I really thought to myself, wow, I'm really building a tribe right now. Like I'm really, for the first time in my life, building a tribe. And that version of me would have never thought I'd be at the end of 2024, now halfway through January of 2025, um, truly without a tribe. And I don't say that with a victim mentality. I want to make that very clear, because I say that knowing that my truest version is now exposed. Therefore, I will build the truest tribe I've ever experienced in my life, because now I can actually choose and see and feel and experience from a place of real clarity and intention. I think past me settled in a lot of areas in my life, and relationships are always very karmic for me. I At 25, I'm still learning how to relate to people, how to socialize, how to be a human, how to recognize how to be a human, how to recognize other humans. I'm not perfect. Um, but I say that with no fear, no victimhood. I know that going forward, being able to see where I've come from, being able to see where I'm going, but being able to see me and what I bring to the table, what I'm working with. I now see that I deserve more. I deserve better. I deserve more out of myself. And where I elevate, I attract more. So this process is a process, man. This process is a motherfucking process. It's been a painful process, and I think for anybody going through a sort of spiritual awakening, personal awakening, relationship awakening, financial, career awakening, whatever it is that is opening up your brain, your mind, your heart, your spirit to more. Um, I think the best thing that I could have done in order to carry myself through this is to just hold the faith. Hold the faith that this is not my life forever. Hold the faith that this is only temporary, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and hold the faith that soon I will understand why I've had to go through this period. What helps me is to realize that this time period does not define me, that my mistakes, my choices do not define me, that what does define me is my capability to keep getting up in the morning and to keep showing up for myself every single time I feel down, every single time I feel without, or every single time I feel alone in this. The best thing I could have ever done or started to do for myself is to just acknowledge myself and realize that I'm not alone and that I have myself here, right now. Whatever it is that lights your soul up, do it. Whenever I'm down, like lately, because boy, Instagram and TikTok, escapism, addiction, those are not cures. Those are only hindrances. They're portals of escape, and yet you're just gonna keep feeling the way you feel. Sad, depressed, low, angry. And so lately I've realized that I have to really be honest with myself and look deep into myself and wonder what are those things that truly like jolt me up? Like what gives me a spark? What gives me a light? For me, that's my art, drawing, journaling, dancing, singing. So I try to make sure that I tap into my extracurriculum. Those extracurricular activities. Your 9 to 5 job is like your math, your science, your English, and no shade to anybody who actually enjoys those subjects. But tap into your extracurricular activities. For me, that's always going to be dancing, singing, working out, drawing, making art. So when I'm feeling down, tapping into those activities of mine really upkeep my hope and my faith. So I don't know how long I'm going to be in this period of time, but I know that even if this were just how my life were to go, I must wake up every day. I must do my best. I must take nothing personal. I must always try. 5 agreements, although those weren't all the 5 agreements, but the ones I can remember. Um, so yeah, I'm just doing the best I can, and At the end of it all, I have gratitude for the 2024 that I had, for the beautiful experiences that I've had that I hope to get to share here on whatever platform this is here soon. It's taken me a long time to sit and reflect on my experiences traveling, but I hope that I will be able to show the world, you know, some of the footage that I've acquired, and the many stories and love that I've experienced through that trip. So keep going. You got this.